Hey, what is going on, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a day so far, and it is
Hi.
Saturday. So don't get all your days mixed up. Even though we are going to be turning the clocks back or forward or something along those lines tonight, it is Saturday, and it's a very special episode. It's another episode of MillenniYell After Dark, and it's with Billy and Mel. What's going on, guys? Hopefully, like I said, you guys are having a great weekend so far. But what is super special about this episode? Mel is in Miami. She is in South Beach right now. She is at the Grant Cardone convention 10X. So she's
Woo!
right there now. And so she is reporting live. So it's our first live report from somewhere. And so Mel is there. She's going to give us a little bit of rundown of what she's been doing, what she's been learning. But Mel, how are you doing? How is your week? How is Miami?
It's beautiful. It's amazing to be not only with the warm weather here, but it feels like life is normal here in Miami at the conference. I think that people are, we have to wear masks. Obviously, I'm sitting over here on the side of the convention, just about to be let out. I just snuck out a little early. Um, but it's beautiful here. The weather's great, and I'm learning so much. I'm taking a ton of notes to bring back and share. I've been posting a lot of pictures. So yeah, I'm super excited to share what I've been learning and people that I've been meeting. I did walk by Grant Cardone today when I went back in. He was kind of going out. And I handed Jared, who's his right hand man, one of my chocolates. I've been giving out these amazing
Look at that.
Hershey
That's
chocolate
awesome.
bars. Sweet to meet you. And then I have my QR code for my new personal branding website that I made, melissamiller.us. So I've been handing those out, hopping from Hershey's chocolate, so that people remember me from Hershey, PA.
Nice, nice. That is awesome. So and I'm actually remote too. I'm down in Delaware. It's not Miami, but it's still the beach, so I'll still take it, right?
Yeah.
So tell us, Mel, what was the first day like for you? Because I know it's probably you're posting a lot of pictures. It seemed like there's definitely a lot of people there. It seems like a good atmosphere. So what was your takeaway from day one?
Yeah, so day one was great. I got in on Thursday, and we actually had a welcome party that DJ Khaled was the DJ for, and we got to just hear a little bit about what was to come. I ran into some friends from Harrisburg there, so I do know a couple people, but yeah, the night was fun, and then yesterday for the first day so we don't know who the speakers are the day who they are going to be. We have a list of some of the speakers, but we don't know when and what time and what day. So Bethany Franklin was a speaker, if anyone follows Real Housewives of New York, and she was the creator of the Skinny Girl margarita and the Skinny Girl brand. And what's really interesting, there's obviously a lot of men and women entrepreneurs, business owners, but her story, I didn't really know anything about her, and I thought she was just one of the housewives. Like she was, the drama and the cattiness and all this. But man, she is a boss bitch. Sorry, guys, but I her story is phenomenal, and what she's accomplished and what she's about is not anything what I thought she was. So I'm not into the shows, but I really found out as a person and as a businesswoman, um, you know, so much that I didn't know about her. So Evan O'Leary from Shark Tank was there, Mr. Wonderful yesterday. He was really great, and also Pitbull. So there's not just, I mean, obviously they're involved in business. For him especially, he left his record label and went independent, so he is obviously an entrepreneur in addition to a musician, and an artist and an entertainer. So there's some really neat things that I'm learning all about, not just about individuals who we already know are entrepreneurs or successful millionaire, billionaire businesses, but just their stories. And a lot of people have come from nothing, absolutely
That's
nothing. So
Yeah, that's really cool because I know of what was her name, the first lady that you said. I
Bethany
just can't remember.
Franklin.
Yeah, she's been on a few episodes of Shark Tank, and that's where I knew her from, and stuff like that. And she is definitely a firecracker. So, but that's really cool. So, what type of things did you learn? Have you learned so far, especially for your business?
Yeah,
Because I know that's a big reason why you went down there is to
definitely.
obviously do that type of stuff. So, what are some things you've learned so far?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, almost everybody has talked about authenticity. I think, there has been a lot talk of during COVID and the pandemic and being resilient and pivoting and whatnot, but there's so much being talked about authenticity, and just being who you are, and being honest and being kind. So it's a lot of the stuff, and having empathy. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about on the podcast are huge factors and things that a lot of these speakers are talking about. And it's actually funny because I take little notes in my notepad here, but a lot of it is just taking action. Stop sitting around, stop talking, start doing. Communication, huge with communication. I wrote a couple things down that I thought you would like. Um, Kevin O'Leary said, "Cash flow is the blood of business. Without the blood, you're dead." Which is funny
It's
because he's always
true.
like, "You're dead to me." But you like the cash flow. They talk about cash flow a lot. But yeah, there's been some pretty cool stories just about where people have come from, and I just think there's so many people that just started out. Not only all these speakers and celebrities and people that we might know, but they're bringing up people on the stage who were just here last year or the year before, and they went from maybe $70,000 to $600,000 in a year, and then
That's crazy.
they're going to do 1.2 million next year, or like this year. And a lot of it has to do with the programs that they offer. So I've been doing a lot of the Monday night and Tuesday night live. I told you a little bit about that, preparing for this, and they're free. And all of Grant's YouTube videos are free, but some of the programs you do have to pay for, and some of them are very, very expensive. But for some of the businesses here that are doing, a couple 100,000 in sales or something, to them it's not that much to get to $1 million in sales. So it's investing in yourself. And even if it's stuff that they keep saying, don't worry about the money, we're a friend first, we'll figure it out, we're here to help you. So there's so many resources here that I'm meeting people that are business owners that are helping me just with ideas and connections and things. But obviously I think that there's programs here that are definitely are needed, that all of these people that have been in, and obviously some of them are not cheap. um, but yeah, I think and I got a really great idea for us today for the podcast,
Really.
actually. Yeah, absolutely. So Pete Vargas, okay, so he talked so much because he's involved with this conference itself and doing hybrid. So during the pandemic, he pivoted his own business and does speaking and digital events and things, virtual experiences. And he had this whole idea that he put up about um, communication, just being like a world-class communicator. And then there was OPS for OPM. Do you know what that means, or any of that? Have you heard of that? OPS
It sounds
versus
familiar,
OPM.
but I'm not
Um,
entirely sure.
okay, so I wrote it down so I have to look. It's so funny.
Well,
But
but while you're looking, Brandon
yeah.
said, "Go ahead and make that first million." He said
Oh,
he's got,
exactly. Yep.
yeah, right.
Exactly. That's what
So
we're here to. That's what we're here to level up. 10x, baby. Um, no, okay. So it was about okay, other people's money, OPM. So basically using other people's money, and then OPS is other people's stages. So his whole thing was getting on other people's stages. And I have the screenshots they took of our up of the screen, and I'll share it because there's a couple of things that I didn't actually put up yet. But basically it was using other people's stages, and it was podcasts, it was Clubhouse. They talk about Clubhouse a lot. You'd love it.
Love
but
Clubhouse.
basically not only building your own stage, which is what we're doing here, okay, which is really interesting because they're saying not just using your Facebook page, your website, having a podcast, doing Clubhouse. There's webinars, the mastermind, like the classes that you were talking about doing. So they're saying that, obviously building your own stage, which is funny because this is kind of what we're doing, what we're doing through the podcast, but then using other people's stages, because then you can get, and it's what, when there's people that do the public speaking, if they can get on other people's stages, they can get to thousands more people. So it's kind of like going into these rooms on Clubhouse or getting mentioned I posted a story and I tagged Brandon Dawson, Grant's business partner in the ventures, and then Jared, his right hand man. I don't know his actual profession, but they both. I'm sorry, Buck. Buck does the marketing. They both shared my story onto their stories. I texted you that it was 20,000. One had 20,000 followers, one had 140,000 followers. So like right there is an example. Like I was getting on other people's stages, them sharing it, got me into their,
Their audience.
their whole audience. Exactly. But a lot of it has to do, yeah. I mean, a lot of what we were talking about, is just really interesting about being authentic and, grabbing people's heart. There was one thing that Brandon said, grab their heart, start with grabbing their heart. And it said something about spread it to their minds, a call to action, and then going back and closing with the heart. So he opens with the heart and then he closes with the heart on both sides, which is really interesting. But my idea was, so they're talking about doing these hybrid events for the next decade, he said. Yep, business is all about connections. Exactly, Brendan. So hybrid events are going to basically continue in person and virtual, hybrid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So talking about building your own stage and doing virtual events, I think we should do, and I already have the partners that I think would be great to line up. Hey, Mel, hey, Peggy, to do a MillenniYell, but we call it like something tell or like the tell all. But we can do breakouts. Okay, so we do breakouts, like a 4-hour MillenniYell workshop day or something, right? And we do some in
Yes.
person and some, and then we can talk about we can do a business something, a relationship something, maybe people that want to do debt, and we have speakers that can talk each about the different aspects of things that we've talked about on our podcast that we've really felt that that were really good topics, that we had the most people that were watching and commenting and really engaged. And then we could do, and obviously guys, there may be a ticket price here. Okay. But if we do see workshops with the win, thanks Brandon. So if we do a workshop and we get people involved and we mail them something, we mail them a packet ahead of time, we give them something that they can obviously take away from it, but then we build also a little bit of money for us to then advertise the podcast and do giveaways and do gift cards, and we can start a little bit of a base by doing a virtual but a hybrid event, and we could do some in person. So I don't know, I think we should talk about it.
I think so too. I think it's a great idea, and I'm going to call out Brandon here. Brandon's great at cybersecurity, so we could even have a cybersecurity breakout room,
Absolutely.
Brandon, if you want to be a part of that. So just let us know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. And I love that idea of having different, bringing in different experts, right? Because like we always say, when we're talking about certain issues, we're not experts. We're not giving you expert advice. We're just giving you our spin on that
Right.
topic. And so it would be very interesting, like you said, to kind of have, maybe even a MillenniYell networking event, because we talk a lot about business. And so a MillenniYell networking event for millennials in business. And so, like you said, I think that would be really, really kind of cool.
We could do a speed dating MillenniYell. We could just do a ton of stuff. I love this hybrid idea of doing things, some in person if people feel comfortable, in the spring maybe, and then if not, they can do a virtual ticket, event. But I think really having some experts in their fields, I think that people, and it would really help us to connect. Collaboration has been a huge a theme as well. Collaboration and expanding your network, obviously by collaborating with other people. But I think it's something on the as a topic. But it was interesting um, when the lady came on today. Tommy Hilfiger was just here as a surprise guest, and Damon John, who started Fubu, and his wife. So they were actually talking more about relationships and stuff. But Cindy Eckert started today, and she actually was she started the women's Viagra, and she sold her company for $1 billion. And she had a clause in her contract when she sold her business, was a performance, some type of a performance requirement that they had to do a certain something. I didn't hear what it was, but they did not perform the way that it was in the contract. And she sued them, and she won, and she did not have, for $0, she was given back her $1 billion company back in her hands.
That's
She
crazy.
got it. So she sold it for $1 billion, got $1 billion,
And then got her
and
company
then
back.
she sued it, and she got it back. And so she's got her $1 billion and her company back. Is that
Talk about
insane?
hustler.
Yeah. And then she went to start another. She clearly went to start another business. So her thing was, if she said if somebody had asked her if she could have a billboard, what would it say? And she said if she could pick where it was, and she said it would be F the unicorn, be the workhorse. So I'm sure she said
Nice.
the F word,
Yeah.
but yeah. So there's some interesting, um, there's some interesting quotes and a lot of things that I'm taking from it, and like I said, learning a lot. But
So
we'll
Mel,
see.
what's the plan for tonight, right? You got one more day left in the conference, right? What's your plan for tonight? What's your plan? And have you heard anything about tomorrow? Any big speakers for tomorrow?
So, well, it's funny. Even though my ticket says VIP, I'm like the peasant ticket. I'm like the I'm like the baby in the back. We have the section in the back. You have Premier, and then you have Diamond. So it was like a 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 ticket. Now I got mine actually for 1,000. So it was like a special or something. But so then you have the 5,000 and the 10,000, and they get the special. They got to go to Live last night. So the nightclub at Fountain Blue has been closed, and they actually opened it just for them last night to go to the private party because they paid so much money they get extra stuff. So and 50 Cent was there performing. So I did not get to partake in that. And then tonight, oh, the VIP Eco Fest ticket. Yeah, LOL. That's what we joke. So my friends that are here from Harrisburg, Rob and Kelly Ruth that own Bob Ruth Ford, they have the diamond tickets, and they've been involved for a couple years, and they do some of the other programs, and they have some of the investments, and their friends and stuff are up, and they're up in the diamond. But but he goes today. We went to lunch because the lunch here, the food wasn't that great, but you could sit with other people. But we ended up going to lunch, and he says, "Oh, do you guys have air conditioning back there? Is the air conditioning on?" But I mean, it's in one room. Usually this is 35,000 people. There's only like 2,000 or 2,500. So there's really only 2,000. There's 15,000 that are on virtual, which is crazy. But so yeah, I'm back in the back, but it's fine. There's a lot of people that have multi-million dollar businesses that are sitting in the VIP section with me, so it's okay. But tonight is the yacht party for them, which of course not going to be going on, unfortunately. But last night I went out with a couple people to South Beach to dinner down there. So I got down kind of outside of where I'm staying here in Aventura. And but tonight I might just hang by the pool. I might just have a relaxing night tonight. I'm not sure. There is a little party here that I can go to for us VIP peasants, but I'm kidding. I mean, the people that are here and that are amazing, and a lot of the people too that are saying that that are speaking, and Grant and them and Brandon, and or that we're that we're here, obviously making an investment in ourselves and, and our growth. Everyone here's a growth improvement junkie and growth junkie, just like you. So you'd love it.
Yeah. No, I think it's important, even though, like you said, there's the people that spend 10,000, 5,000, any money that and I want everybody to know this that's watching this, anytime you spend money on yourself to make yourself better, doesn't matter if it's $5, doesn't matter if it's $5 million, an investment in yourself is the best investment that you can make. And so, Mel, you're making a huge investment in yourself, and it's going to pay
Yeah,
unbelievable dividends.
and I mean, meeting some of the people that I've been doing the live Monday and Tuesday nights that I've seen their faces. I went up to them and said, "Hey, Holly, it's Melissa. I saw you on the live. I've heard your story. It's great." She was up on stage. She was one of the success stories that they've pulled up because she's done the workshops and she's done some of the other programs. So, just meeting her, and she gave me a couple of names, and we exchanged our information, and we're gonna obviously keep in touch. So just being here, even it was still a good amount of money that I spent, but the people that are even doing the $97 at home are getting so much from this, just listening. I know that a friend of mine back home saw that I posted a couple things, and he said, I just bought into the 97 and I'm watching it. Like I'm watching it. So that's
So
cool. As far as the next speakers go, so A-Rod is supposed to be speaking, which is interesting because I don't know if you heard the news that him and J-Lo broke off their engagement yesterday.
What?
So yeah, there was a little bit of drama with a girl, I think, another girl. There were some issues, but
I don't know how you could ever cheat on J-Lo. I don't understand.
I don't know, but I mean, he's supposed to be here. I mean, he's a speaker. I just don't know if I guess tomorrow he'll be here tomorrow, but I don't know. There was I think the ones that they shared on the website and everything, I think have already all spoken. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, but it was funny, actually. I wanted to tell you that Elena Cardone, who's Grant's wife, who's a phenomenal just boss. I didn't know this, but if you remember me saying when we were doing the podcast for Gen X about what they were doing, and I was like, oh, hey, no big deal. I'm not worried about you. I'm just over here building my empire. We're millennials. We're building our empire. I'm here. Well, she has a book that's called Building Your Empire, right? And that's what her program that she does with women is about building your empire. So I might have to get that book next. So
I'm sure you will. I'm sure there'll be the next one on your reading list. But I mean, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you're having a good time and you're meeting some good people and stuff like that, and bringing some good ideas, not only back for this podcast, but bringing some good ideas back just for your business in general. So, but yeah, I mean, what anything else before we kind of jump off? It's not a normal podcast. What we do, guys, if this is the first time you've ever watched us, typically we talk about real world problems and topics and stuff like that. But this is a special kind of show because Mel is in Miami reporting live, as we said at the beginning.
Reporting live.
So there's not going to be a millennial meme of the week, so to speak. And so I guess we could just go along with Mel's Moment. So I can just pop this up real quick. Boom. Right?
Bam.
Mel's Moment. So so Mel, take it away.
I'm just gonna go with it. One of my diamond friends gave me this really special necklace that only the investors and diamond people got. So I got a special necklace that I can keep. But I think that's what it's going to be, is just 10x it, baby. They've been asking every speaker, what does 10x mean to you? I'd be curious what 10x means to you, but I think it just means, go all in and just obviously 10 times your this, 10 times that, but it's about courage. Everyone here is talking about having the courage to to go to the next level, to face whatever adversity, and just get to that that place. Yeah.
Nice. I love it. I love the idea of 10xing. I read the book as well, and 10x to me is just like you said, 10xing effort, 10xing activity. That's probably the biggest thing for for me is activity. Activity, solves a lot of problems.
Action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem
And so,
solving. Yep.
yeah, most problems can be solved with taking action against them. So, but that's awesome. I'm super glad that we got to do this special podcast today. And guys, if you have, Mel will be posting some more pictures, I'm sure. So make sure you follow her, follow the MillenniYell, right, and make sure that you like that page. When Mel gets back, I'm sure we'll have some big ideas for this show. So stay tuned for that as well. And but definitely, guys, if like I always say, make sure on Fridays I normally say, hey, make sure you make good memories with your family, your friends, and stuff like that. But guys, if you're going to take anything away from today's show, is that make the investment in yourself. I promise you, it's never the wrong investment. It'll always pay dividends. It might not be right when you want them, but I promise you, down the road, those things will pay dividends. But Mel, go enjoy the rest of Miami. Go have some fun. Go sit out by the pool. Go just relax and have a good time. And we will see you next week when you get back, and we'll talk a little bit. Maybe we'll talk about maybe next week's show is we'll talk about what it means to 10x.
Yeah,
I think that
sounds great.
Should be our next week's show. 10x. What does that mean to us, and what should that mean to you? So
yeah, think about it.
But anyways, guys, we really appreciate everybody that jumped on, commented. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will be talking to you real soon. Have a good one, guys.